The champagne bottle popped in the next room, and I could hear my sister Jessica's laughter mixing with our parents' congratulations. She'd just received her acceptance letter to Johns Hopkins Medical School, her dream school, our father's alma mater. Meanwhile, I sat in my childhood bedroom, staring at my laptop screen in complete disbelief. Application status: withdrawn by APPICANT. Withdrawn? I hadn't withdrawn anything. My application to Johns Hopkins had been submitted 3 months ago, every document perfect, every essay polished until it shone. I'd spent 4 years preparing for this moment, maintaining a 4.0 GPA, scoring in the 99th percentile on the NCAT, volunteering at 3 different hospitals, conducting research that had been published in 2 peer-reviewed journals. My phone buzzed with a text from Jessica. DLETED your MEDC application. Now you see and compete with me. Guess you should have password protected your laptop better. Only room for one Dr. Morgan in this family. My hands shook as I read it again. Then again, my own sister had sabotaged my medical school application. The sister I tutored through organic chemistry, the one I'd shared all my NCAT study materials with. I was about to storm into the living room when my phone rang. The caller ID made my heart stop. Dr. James Thornton, Dean of Admissions, Johns Hopkins School of Medicine. Miss Morgan? His voice was serious, professional. Amelia Morgan. Yes, I whispered, racing for him to confirm my worst nightmare. That my application had been withdrawn, that my dreams were over. I'm calling about an extremely serious matter. Our portal tracking system flagged unusual activity on your application 20 minutes ago. Someone logged in from a different IP address and attempted to withdraw your application. Attempted? I breathed. Yes. Our new security system records everything. Keystrokes, screenshots, even webcam activation if permissions are enabled. We saw everything, Miss Morgan, including the text message your sister sent afterward, bragging about deleting your application. I sank onto my bed, phone pressed to my ear. You saw it? Every second. She used your saved password to access the portal from her laptop. We have video evidence of her deliberately withdrawing your application while laughing. We also have screenshots of her group chat where she's been planning this for weeks. The room spun. Weeks. Miss Morgan, I need to inform you of several things. First, your application was never actually withdrawn. Our system requires email confirmation for withdrawals, which your sister didn't complete. Second, based on your exceptional qualifications, you were already selected for admission with a full scholarship, the Harrison Merit Scholarship, which covers tuition, room, and board for all 4 years. Tears streamed down my face. You are. Congratulations, Dr. Morgan, or future Dr. Morgan. However, regarding your sister, his tone darkened. Jessica Morgan's acceptance to Johns Hopkins is hereby revoked. Furthermore, she will be reported to the American Association of Medical Colleges for attempted sabotage of another applicant. She will be blacklisted from every medical school in the United States. The champagne laughter from the living room suddenly sounded like a funeral dirge. Dr. Thornton, she's my sister, who tried to destroy your future out of petty jealousy. Miss Morgan, this isn't just about you. Someone capable of this level of deception and cruelty cannot be trusted with patients' lives. What would she do to a colleague who got a better residency? A nurse who questioned her judgment? Medicine requires integrity above all else. He was right. The realization hit me like a physical blow. Can you come to my office tomorrow morning? He continued. We need to formally document this incident and discuss your admission. Also, the FBI's Cybercrime Division may need to speak with you. Unauthorized access to educational portals is a federal offense. After I hung up, I sat in silence for a moment, listening to Jessica's celebration continuing in the next room. Then I walked to the living room, and stood in the doorway. The scene was perfect. Jessica in her designer dress, holding her acceptance letter. Mom and Dad beaming with pride, champagne glasses raised. Our extended family was there too. Aunts, uncles, cousins, all celebrating Jessica's achievement. Amelia, Mom called out. Come celebrate with your sister. She's going to be a doctor. No, I said quietly. She's not. The room went silent. Jessica's face shifted. A flicker of something. Fear? crossing her features before she forced a laugh. Someone's jealous. Sorry you didn't get in, Amy, but not everyone's meant for medical school. I held up my phone, Dr. Thornton's number still on the screen. That was the dean of admissions from Johns Hopkins. They saw everything, Jess. Every keystroke, every screenshot. The welcome footage of you deleting my application while laughing. The champagne glass slipped from her hand, shattering on the hardwood floor. What are you talking about? Dad asked, but his eyes were moving between us, reading the situation. Jessica logged into my portal account and withdrew my medical school application. I said, my voice steadier now. She sent me this text bragging about it. I showed them the message. Mom gasped. Dad went pale. But here's the thing, I continued, looking directly at Jessica, whose face had gone from red to white. Johns Hopkins has a new security system. They record everything. They saw you do it. They have video evidence. That's impossible, Jessica stammered. Is it? They also have screenshots of your group chat. The one where you've been planning this for weeks. Where you said, and I quote, Amelia always gets everything. Not this time. I'll make sure of it. Our cousin Mark, a lawyer, stood up slowly. Jessica, if this is true, you've committed a federal crime. Computer fraud, identity theft. It was a jail key, Jessica exploded. I was going to tell her. I was going to fix it. When? I asked. After the withdrawal deadline. After all the spots were filled. After you'd secured your place at the school you knew we were both applying to. My phone rang again. I put it on speaker. Miss Morgan, this is Dr. Thornton again. I apologize for calling back so quickly, but I wanted you to know that we just sent an email to Jessica Morgan formally revoking her acceptance. She has also been reported to the AAMC. Additionally, our legal team will be pursuing charges for unauthorized access to university systems. Jessica let out a sound like a wounded animal. Furthermore, Dr. Thornton continued, I wanted to personally congratulate you again on your Harrison Scholarship. It's an honor given to only one student per year. Your research on pediatric oncology treatments was particularly impressive. The Harrison Scholarship, Dad whispered. That's the full ride. That's the one I applied for 30 years ago and didn't get. Thank you, Dr. Thornton, I managed to say. After I hung up, the room erupted. Mom was crying. Dad was yelling. Aunts and uncles were trying to understand what had happened. Jessica stood frozen in the center of it all, her acceptance letter, now worthless, crumpled in her fist. You've ruined my life, she screamed at me. No, I said firmly. You ruined your own life. I would have been happy to go to medical school with you. We could have supported each other, studied together, been the Morgan sisters taking on medicine together. But you couldn't stand the thought of me succeeding alongside you. You always have to be better. Jessica sobbed. Better grades, better scores, better everything. For once, I wanted something that was just mine. And you thought you'd get it by destroying me. Dad stepped between us. Jessica, how could you? Your own sister. She's not my sister. Jessica spat. She's my competition. You always loved her more. Why can't you be more like Amelia? Amelia got straight A's again. Amelia's so responsible. I'm sick of it. We never compared you, Mom said weakly, but even she didn't sound convinced. I looked around the room at my family, seeing them all clearly for perhaps the first time. How many times had they casually mentioned my achievements to Jessica? How many times had they held me up as the standard? I'd never asked for it, never wanted it, but I'd benefited from it nonetheless. Jess, I said softly, I'm sorry if I ever made you feel less than. I never meant to. But this, what you did, it's not about me being better. It's about you choosing to be worse. Her phone buzzed. She looked at it, and her face crumbled completely. The email, she whispered. My acceptance is revoked. They're recommending criminal prosecution. Mark, our cousin the lawyer, stepped forward. Jessica, you need to stop talking. Right now. Anything you say can be used against you. I'm calling you a criminal defense attorney. The party was over. Family members left quietly, embarrassed, unsure what to say. The champagne went flat. The congratulations banner looked like a mockery. That night, I found Jessica in her room, packing frantically. Where are you going? I asked from the doorway. Away, anywhere. I can't stay here. Everyone knows. It's all over social media. Someone leaked the story to a medical school forum. I'm trending on Twitter. Med school sister sabotage. My life is over. It doesn't have to be. Yes, it does. She whirled on me. Every medical school in the country knows what I did. I'll never be a doctor. 4 years of undergrad. All those NCAT hours, all of it for nothing. Because of 20 seconds of stupidity. 20 seconds, you planned this for weeks. She collapsed on her bed. I know, God, I know. When I got my acceptance letter, all I could think about was that you probably gotten one too. That even this wouldn't be special, wouldn't be mine. And I snapped. You need help, Jess. This level of jealousy, of resentment, it's not normal. You think I don't know that? She laughed bitterly. The dean was right. What kind of doctor would I have been? If I could do this to my own sister, what would I do to a rival resident, a nurse who shoved me up? We sat in silence for a moment. What are you going to do? I finally asked. I don't know. Maybe teach, maybe research, something that doesn't require an MD, something where the A and C blacklist doesn't matter. She looked at me with red-rimmed eyes. Will you ever forgive me? I don't know, I said honestly. Maybe someday. But trust? That's gone forever. The next morning, I drove to Johns Hopkins to meet with Dr. Thornton. The campus was beautiful, everything I dreamed of. In his office, surrounded by medical texts and framed degrees, he handed me my official acceptance packet. Miss Morgan, I want you to know that you earned this entirely on merit. Your sister's actions, terrible as they were, have no bearing on our decision. You're going to make an exceptional physician. Thank you, I said, holding the packet like it was made of gold. I'd also wanted you to know, he continued, that we've implemented new security measures based on this incident. No student will ever have to go through what you did. Your sister's crime might have one positive outcome, protecting future applicants. As I left his office, my phone buzzed with a notification. Someone had tagged me in a post on the pre-med forum. Amelia Morgan. The girl whose sister tried to steal her future but ended up destroying her own. Remember, folks, integrity matters more than acceptance letters. The comments were pouring in. Support from fellow pre-meds, horror stories of similar sabotage attempts. Congratulations on my acceptance and scholarship. But one comment stood out from a username I recognized as Jessica's old study group friend. I knew Jessica was competitive, but this is next level. Amelia, if you're reading this, we all knew you were the better student. Jessica knew it too. That's why she did what she did. Congratulations on Johns Hopkins. You deserve it. 6 months later, I started medical school. The orientation week was everything I dreamed of and more. My white coat ceremony was bittersweet. My parents came, but the shadow of Jessica's absence hung over us all. She'd moved to Portland, taking a job as a laboratory technician. We hadn't spoken since that night in her room. During my second week, Dr. Thornton pulled me aside after a lecture. There's something you should know, he said quietly. We've had 17 cases of application sabotage reported since your story went public. 17 students who came forward because they saw what happened to you and realized they weren't alone. You've helped more people than you know. I thought about those 17 students, their dreams almost destroyed by jealousy and malice. Then I thought about Jessica, brilliant in her own right, who'd thrown away everything for a moment of vindictive satisfaction. Dr. Thornton, I said, would it be possible to start a support group? For students who've experienced sabotage, academic fraud, family betrayal, I think we need to talk about the pressure, the competition, the way it breaks relationships. He smiled. That's exactly the kind of thinking we need in medicine. Healing more than just physical wounds. Yes, Miss Morgan. Set it up. The school will support it fully. Today, 3 years into my medical education, I run that support group. We meet weekly, sharing stories of betrayal and recovery, of dreams deferred but not destroyed. And sometimes, late at night in the library, I think about Jessica. I wonder if she's found peace, if she's forgiven herself, if she's built a new dream from the ashes of the old one. She sent me a letter last month. I haven't opened it yet. Maybe I will when I graduate. Maybe I'll wait until I'm truly Dr. Morgan, the title she wanted so desperately that she was willing to destroy me for it. Or maybe I'll never open it at all. Some wounds heal, some leave scars, and some teach us that the people we trust most can hurt us worst. But they can't stop us from becoming who we're meant to be. The dean was right about one thing. Medicine requires integrity above all else. Jessica forgot that. I never will.